Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of Hello World with your girl Joy from Be the Difference Clothing. What's going on, guys? Sorry, I just need to. My screen is so dirty. I need to keep up keeping it clean. Oh, I forgot to put my webcam on, so we're just working off of the camera for today. What up, Maria? How are you? Welcome to Hello World. How was your new year? How did you spend New Year's Eve? I have to check to see if I'm buffering really quickly. What up, Dragonfly Lady? Keto like a lady. Hey guys, welcome to 2020. But honestly, today's what? Wednesday? Welcome to Wednesday. Just another day to be thankful to be alive. I need to check to see if I'm buffering or not because I feel like whenever I look at the screen, it's like always the first seconds is always like, hey, Levette Apparel, what's going on? Divine TV, hey, welcome to Hello World. Good to see you. Um, woo, I'm so cold, guys. How about you? How was your New Year? Okay, let's see. I am buffering. It's not buffering, it's just lagging. I hate that. Anyway, just sat home and hung out with your sons. That's cool. You were at church the whole night. That's cool too. That's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as you start off the new year safe and happy and ready for something different, then that's all that matters. Ooh. What did you do, Divine TV and Levette? Making mugs on Mug Press. Okay, cool. That's cool. Ooh, guys, I need to get this chill out. But first, before we start anything, I have to remind you to like, subscribe, share, turn on your notification bells. And if you can give me a thumbs something, it's fine. Um, I need to share the chat out. So give me a second while I do that really quickly. Talk amongst yourselves, get to know yourself, each other, while I just do this one little thing quick. And then I'll be right back to you to tell you how everything went. Ooh, I'm just sharing the chat out. What up, Eat Sleep? How are you? Welcome to Hello World. I'm just typing that up and I'm sharing the chat out. Uh, that's all I'm doing right now. Mm-mm-mm. So let's see. Okay, I'm back. Hey, Patty D. Okay, Keto said your oldest went to a friend's house and slept over. Okay, you're not driving on New Year's Eve. Drunks out there. Okay, cool. Hey, Patty D. How was your New Year's Eve? Sorry about the lagging. I don't know why it's doing that. I don't really have anything else going on for any reason for it to be like that. It could be because I'm working straight off of my computer and I haven't updated it in a while. So maybe that's why there's a little tiny lag. So, anyway, today was a day off, as we all should have been off. Some of people who may work in retail might have had to go to work. So, um, shout out to you and being consistent with your jobs and starting off with something on the books. So I woke up late and today I just slept and slept and slept and slept and slept and slept. So much so that I had a headache by the time I woke up and got moving, moving, moving. Um, oh Lord, sorry. Sometimes I get a little sidetracked. Um, It was quiet and yours. It was cool. I had a good time. I had a good time. It was cool though. Um, I'm just trying to get this chill out. All of a sudden, I'm so chilly. Oh, I didn't even bring my sweater. I mean, I know I have this one on, but I usually put my red one on over top. Um, okay, so when I finally got up, I cooked, I ate, and then I stepped out for a little bit. Uh, oh, Levette. You will, Levette, you will. I think because you put numbers in there is why it's on review, being held like that. I didn't touch it. As you can see, my hands are tied down. Um, but what was I gonna say? So now I'm here with you guys. And the one topic that came to mind was don't be afraid. You know how many times we second guess ourselves out of fear, and then sometimes we allow people to talk us into into thinking fearfully. So, like for example, some of you guys are on YouTube a lot, some of you aren't. Some of you have friends, and uh, I don't know. Some people are just maybe acquaintances, all of that good stuff. Yeah, you know I don't like the cold. No, but I think because you put numbers in there, Lavette, the YouTube held it back. So write what you said again without putting the 1K in there. Just type in, reach my goal so I can go live from my cell phone or something like that. So yeah, write it all over again. But I don't know, for some reason they held it in review. Um, so sometimes we're afraid and things happen. And maybe also because it's in caps. I don't know. But just write it over again without putting numbers in there. Um, so sometimes we allow those things to make us fearful. For example, hey Adam, what's going on? Hi Jeannie, how are you? Welcome to Hello World. You're at work. Okay. Um, oh, it went through. So, for example, we hold ourselves back sometimes because we're afraid that people will make fun of us. We're afraid that um, people will try to use what we say against us sometimes. And while you sit there and be afraid of all of those things that may come true, you're holding yourself back from maybe doing the same situation in other things, other areas of your life, because you're being held back in fear. Let's just face it, guys. People are going to say what they want to say. Sometimes they're lies, sometimes they're not. Sometimes it's over embellishment of things, and sometimes they're not. But at the end of the day, you cannot prevent people from twisting a story or exposing stuff that you may have said to them for their personal gain, right? Because if we stayed concerned about being like or having people do those kinds of things and being in that mind frame for too long, we would never, ever, ever step foot out of our houses. We would never, ever have conversations with people. I believe if someone tells you or states, do not repeat what I say to you to anyone else, that's when you should be held accountable. But sometimes you have to think if you have to tell someone not to repeat something, then maybe, just maybe, they're not the right person to tell, or maybe, just maybe, you're just not confident enough to receive whatever response that the person may have to say in regard to whatever you tell them. Or maybe, just maybe, you should hold on to whatever you have to say because it's too premature for your own understanding. So don't be afraid. Just go ahead and go, guys. Just go ahead and go. What is the absolute worst thing that can happen? Oh, I know. Your ego can get a little bruised, a little crushed. But guess what? Ego and pride are the only two things that have been holding us back from our dreams, wishes, goals, relationships, friendships, uh, acquaintances, working experiences, ownership for so long. I understand we do need to be careful and have, a healthy respect for, telling people things and saying things maybe at the right and appropriate time. I understand that. But for the majority of life, sometimes we are our own worst enemies. We're so afraid that somebody might respond different from what you're thinking. So instead of allowing people to give an input on something, you just don't say a thing at all. Don't be afraid. How many of us in the chat, how many of us have been so afraid and perplexed and petrified to say something that it's held us back? Be honest. Oh, okay, Adam. I haven't heard the full thing, but I think you typed it in and I was singing the tune to it. Let it go. You? Thank you. At least Adam is honest. And what I'm learning, guys, is that the more honest we are, the less fearful we'll become. The less fearful situations will arise. The less fearful we will be standing in confidence for the things that we want and desire in this life. Don't be afraid. That is probably the most scariest three words. Don't be afraid. Yeah. Three words that I'll ever say in this chat. Don't be afraid. Know the difference though. I know what the difference is. There's times when we're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't say something because of the backlash that I'll get. What backlash? Sometimes people just need to hear the plain old truth. How they handle the plain old truth is up to them. I was on LinkedIn earlier and I was watching this video. I didn't listen to the audio part, but they did have the captions up. And apparently there was almost a fender bender. Someone got out of their vehicle, started yelling at the person that was driving. And the driver was just smiling and waving. And the passenger for that driver was like, why are you smiling and waving after they're yelling at you like that? He said, because sometimes we're like garbage trucks where we collect so many emotional things, are afraid of so many things, put afraid in there, that we eventually dump our trash on other people. So my point is, sometimes people's responses are only because of the trash that they just want to dump, and it has nothing to do with you. So take advantage of every moment and don't be afraid. Step out of your fear, step out of your comfort zone. We always talk about comfort zones, right? Step out of your comfort zone for real, for real. I dare you, right? We say, oh, I want freedom. I want my country to be free. But yet we hold so many secrets. Yet we do so many things behind each other's backs. Yet we hold so many negative thoughts about someone's life. We pretend to be happy for people when we're not. I'm not saying you go ahead and tell somebody, I'm not happy for you. Don't do that. Change your heart so that you can appreciate where somebody has gotten in that particular part of their life. Again, we have no idea where people come from, what happens to them, what they had to do to get to where they are, and what they have to continue to do to maintain what they have. So, why would you have any jealousy in your heart for that? I know why you would have jealousy in your heart for that, because you wish that you could take over someone else's happiness, because maybe there's a little bit of happiness missing from you. But you have to be strong enough, wise enough, and confident enough to look yourself in the mirror and say, you are a jealous person sometimes. And why is it that I can't be happy for someone else? Find out why that's an issue for you. No time better than the present to figure these things out. Lavette, not me. Keto, you sell Mary Kay? Girl, didn't know that. Let it go, can't hold it back anymore. Let it go, turn away and slam the door. I don't care what they're going to say, let the storm rage on. The cold new will never bother me anyway. Let it go, let it go. Why would you be afraid to talk to that about that, Keto? You should be proud to do a business, lady, because maybe Keto is shy. I get nervous that people would think I'm a crazy married lady, Mary Kay lady who will relentlessly bug them because that has been the experience you've had with Mary Kay. And these are all of the things that you perceive will happen as being a seller. But guess what, Keto? You are not those people who are relentless and try to sell because you will go to people and give them a reason why it's a good item for them to have. You will show them why it's beneficial for them. If you believe in that product, keto, then it will start selling itself because you will present it in a way that it's not threatening and people will receive it better. You're a consultant. Yeah, that's right. You said it. You just freed yourself. And now you can be more confident. And then also too, go to people that wear makeup. Go to people who care about skincare. Those are the people that will receive you a little better than someone who, may not wear makeup, may not be interested in, you know, beauty supply, or may already have a beauty supply that they're very happy with. So test your market, keto. But I understand why you'd be nervous too. Any new venture is nerve wracking. Anytime that we feel like we can be rejected is absolutely nerve wracking. Nobody in this entire world wants to be rejected. Not one of us. But I think once we start realizing that you can't be afraid of people rejecting you because guess what? You were the first person that rejected yourself from day one. When you kind of look at the mirror and kind of don't like what you see, and you pick at this, pick at that. I need to be thinner. I need to be fatter. I need to have more weight. I need to have more muscles. I need to have my hair needs to be growing. My hair needs to be a different color. My hair is this. My hair is that. My eyes, I don't like my eye color. I don't like my mustache. I don't like my nails. I don't like this. I don't like that. We're our worst enemies first. We're the biggest rejectors of ourselves first. And then enlist other people's to we try to enlist other people to agree with us. Like, don't you think I'm fat? Don't you think my hair is ugly? Don't you think my arm is too thin or my arm is too big? Don't you think my nails are ugly? Don't you think I would look better if I was lighter? You see what I'm saying? We do these things to ourselves first. And then when we get other people to agree with us, then we're like, oh man, they're right. No, you're the one that convinced them. Well, we're the ones that convinced them of that idea or thought and maybe an imagination. I am crazy, but I don't sell Mary Kay. Congratulations, Keto. Mary Kay is an excellent product. Look at you. I love the product and I love to share it. And if people don't want to buy it, pretty much say thank you and move on. Yes. Do you think I need to wear more makeup? But you know what, Adam? They sell like moisture. They sell a lot more than just makeup at Mary Kay. If you feel like it, Adam, that's true. Guy liner, for sure. Let's take it personal, guys. How many of us were afraid when we had that first relationship to say something. If one of you didn't say something, you would still be single to this day. Okay, maybe not literally, but you would not have had that first experience in sharing your thoughts, your emotions, your heart, your love, your body with someone else. You gotta just get over that fear. We do, we do, we do. We take our childlike fear and turn it into adult childlike fear. How often do we do that? And so what? Let's just say you confided in someone, and they disappointed you by repeating what you told them in confidence. Yeah, you absolutely have a reason to be upset. Yeah, you should absolutely hold them accountable for what they did by violating your trust. But should that determine whether you tell other people things in the future? No. Sometimes we get sometimes we get the bad, what is it? The bad apple in the bunch. Sometimes we do. But if we allow that one experience or those few experiences to determine the outcome of how you tell people things, or if you even tell people things, then you will be one sad person bottled up with a lot of toxicity because you're holding in too much stuff. Then you wonder why your skin is old and gray. You wonder why your organs are not doing so well. Then you wonder why you're always mad at people and you're always like, well, I can't tell nobody's anything. Like you're always looking at everybody with a side eye, thinking that they have something against you, will have something against you, or will do something to manipulate or break you or do whatever the case may be. End of the story, end of the day, we all need to be free. And to be free, you need to let it all out. Let it go, like Adam said. I should have named this chat Frozen. Because one, I am still cold, and two, we do need to let it go. We need to let go of the conception or the misconception that if I don't tell people this or if I keep it inside, then that's the best place to be. That's the best place where it should be. Now, I will say some things you really don't need to be repeating, but for the most part, half of the things that we think are so important are really not. And we hold that little bitty piece of thing in, and we're just like walking around like, oh, well, I can't tell them that because then they might think this. So why does somebody think some differently of you? You were never what they thought of anyway. You're just being your true self now. Stop letting people build up these whole, you're amazing, you're great, and there's that there's no mistakes that you can ever make in this life. Stop building that up. You are full of mistakes. You are full of sometimes not beauty. Will that make that be your outcome of who you truly are? No. It just makes you human. Human is dope and cute and cool. And also, it brings out the humility in you. There's a difference between confiding and there's a difference between telling people things, right? Confiding is like, those things that are maybe embarrassing and personal and like, maybe you shouldn't tell. But then there's the regular everyday today things like, well, I can't tell them that. Why not? If somebody uses that against you, then they will end up looking like a fool. Everyone that does anything bad to try to hurt you will end up hurting themselves in many different ways. You may not be a witness to seeing what those ways are, but trust and believe karma, God, and then anyone else you believe in always, always balances every action with a reaction. Contrary to our belief, people do get paid back for whatever they did. Trust me. Hey, Billy, what's going on? I was in sales for many years. If I don't ask the other for the order, the person can't buy it. That's so true. We're all shiny apples here, not bad apples allowed in this chat. Yes, Adam. And then sometimes the bad apples do need to come in so that they can learn something and learn that it's okay to not be the S in Superman all the time or Superwoman all the time. Hey, AKA, what's going on? Hey, Billy, what's going on? Where's Kingdom Boy? I didn't see him. If Kingdom Boy is here, holla. Well, thank you for carrying me on into your car trip. But guys, don't be afraid. I think we spoke about this once before, but it's always a great time to remind ourselves, including myself, that we shouldn't be afraid. Fear will only hold you back. Fear has always held you back. I'm not talking about the healthy fear of, like, looking across the street and making sure a car is not going to pulverize you. I'm talking about just fear, like, well, if I say this, maybe it's going to step on somebody's toe. Well, maybe somebody's toes need to be stepped on. And that shouldn't hold you back from expressing yourself. We hold ourselves back from expressing ourselves too much. And who's going to end up benefiting from the things and the times that we've held our own selves back from doing things or saying things? Sometimes what you need to say is necessary for somebody to get up off their feet. Everyone is human. We can all make mistakes. It is habits that makes patterns that show you who someone truly. It's very true. Who doesn't want to play, Billy? We will play. We can all learn from. Oh, girl, stop. I just stopped by to give you a love. Thank you, Dragonfly Lady. Hey, Flash Boy, how are you? Welcome to Hello World. Don't be afraid. The truth shall set you free. You ever notice, guys, like sometimes you're put in a position where you're afraid to say something, and like that saying not saying something, you think about it all day long, you think about it all night long, you sleep on it, you start to get belly aches, you start to lose energy, you start to lose the appetite, right? And then once you say something, they're like, oh, okay, whatever. And in your head, you're like, oh, that felt so good. I let it out. Holla, buenos vidas. Well, I thank you for joining us, Flash Boy. I hope you enjoy the stream. We're here just talking about everything and anything. Today's topic is about don't be afraid. How about if you wanted to learn a new instrument? Oh, I'm too old to retain it. Yeah, what? We're always learning things every day. You're never too old. It may take a little longer, but you might, you never know who you might meet just because you had that desire to play an instrument. That desire to play the instrument might open up a door to someone that needed your light to shine in their lives, or maybe vice versa. Or maybe it'll open up experiences of traveling. I don't know. I don't have the answers, but I'm just saying, think about it, guys. Just because we're afraid, we can end up holding ourselves back another lifetime. Man, this is 2020. Since we want to get into the festive spirit, this is 2020. Stop holding back. Let it go. Let it go. Let it out. Don't be afraid. You can be nervous, but don't be afraid. Nervous is one thing, but afraid will paralyze you. So don't be paralyzed. You can be nervous, but don't be paralyzed. You think I was afraid? Oh yeah, I'll remind you guys of that story I when I was running in the gymnasium and the door opened out and I ran into the door. I was so afraid to let anybody see my face. So I kept my head down the whole time and I kept my eye covered the whole time like this. And they're like, why don't you move your hand? I'm like, no. Because I was afraid. I was more afraid that they would make fun of me because I ran in, well, because the door ran, me and the door ended up running into each other. Octavia! Hey, Muffy, what's up? I like that font. Shout out to Muffy. Don't be afraid. So anyway, I ran it. Me and the door ended up running into each other, and I was sitting down like this the whole time. And by the time they pried my hand off of my face, my eye was this big. It literally swelled up. But I was more afraid people would make fun of me than seeking medical attention. And they said in my little grammar school self, do you want to go to the hospital? I was like, no, I'm fine. I like this. My eye was like closed and swollen. The whole face, like the whole face. From here down was swollen. And it was like the size of my hand by the time they moved my hand off. But I was so perplexed and afraid that people would start laughing at me and pointing at me and looking at me instead of getting medical attention. How many times do we do that, guys? We're afraid that people are going to laugh at us. People are going to talk at us, point at us, and laugh. And we're so afraid that we end up holding ourselves back. Now, what if it didn't turn out right? And I went to sleep that night and never woke up again. All because I was afraid that people would laugh at me. So you want to risk permanent, imminent death over the possibility of getting help, right? And our fear sometimes will lead us to a death like situation. Let's think about the relationships, guys. Think about the relationships. Because you were so daggone afraid to speak out or say something to somebody that you liked at that opportunity, and that door has closed now, and it could have been the best opportunity of your life, and now you have to wait another 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years for the next opportunity to come around, but you're so daggone afraid that you missed that opportunity too. What's the worst that can happen? No, I'm not interested. I think the best thing that could ever happen is you end up saying something to somebody that you are interested in, and they end up saying, "Hey, I have the similar, I have the similar feelings for you," and then you're happily ever after. What if that was the best relationship of your life, but you're too afraid to even attempt the possibility because you're saying, "Well, you already made up their mind for you." By saying they're gonna say, no, they're not gonna like me. I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not handsome enough. I'm not I'm not tall enough. I'm not skinny enough. I'm not thick enough. I'm not beautiful enough. My butt isn't big enough. My eyes aren't, they're not shaped enough. They're not shaped right enough. My hair isn't good enough. I my skin isn't nice enough. Oh, but I can't help anybody right now. I don't do this, etc. We think of all of the things, all of the variables that other people don't even have in their minds, all because you're afraid. You put up the wall. You put up a wall so high and so thick and so hard that not even you can penetrate anymore because you believe your own lie. Stop holding yourselves back for potential of relationships if you're not in a relationship because you think you're not good enough. You are good enough. You are beautiful enough. You are excellent enough. for whoever you may have that may have the apple of your heart. And if by chance you guys don't meet eye to eye, then boom, you've conquered that fear of possibly being rejected. So when a next relationship, potential relationship comes along, you can walk a little bit more confidently and not let too much time go by before you say, "Hey, I'm digging you. Are you digging me? Can we make this happen?" If it can't happen, then you all right. Next person. See how quick that is? Hey, Myra. Hey, Rosie. My butt is too big. My friend asked me where I see myself in the new year. How would I know? I don't have the 2020 vision. I'm not ignoring you, Rosie. I was in a rhythm and I don't look at the chat sometimes. Hey, Tim. Happy New Year. Who says their butt is too small? I so want that problem. I don't know, Myra. We allow TV and all of these Hollywood people who get fillers in all parts of their bodies to seem like we need that and make that determine the outcome of how our bodies should look. Man, don't you know if you're behind or your chest for females, if you're behind or your chest is too big, you might fall over. You might have a lot of back pain too. So be thankful for whatever body shape you have and that your body is going to carry that shape. If you don't like the shape, then maybe do something naturally about it. Don't go to the injection and get all these extra fillers. Guys, I don't know. Guys are different. I don't know what else to say. But y'all got it going on either way. Just keep yourselves well maintained and chicks will love you. Chicks will dig you. We'll dig you. You got it easy. Just stay clean. That's all I'm saying. I don't know what men have issues with. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm bundling myself up. I just did the bondage wrap. Like, you know what they do to the babies when they're first born? When they're first born, they just wrap them up so that they don't move and then they feel much better. They feel like they're in the womb again. That's why they do the bondage wrap. I call it the bondage wrap, but I don't remember the technical name for it. But I always thought, I always thought like you would see their head like this and they'd just be sleeping like this. I always thought, oh my goodness, the poor thing is being like suffocated. But no, they love that. It's like they're like back in that nice tight tummy, that feeling that they've been used to for 9 months, almost a year of their life. And now they have all this freedom to move and they don't know what to do. Just got home from grocery store, got to put things away. I had to stop by to show love. Thank you, Tim. Oh, I just did a new video, guys. Let me put that in the chat too. A new inspirational video. Rosie, I hope you're still here and you know good while I don't ignore you. Come on now. Let me get this video link real quick. Don't be afraid. Oh, I gotta open it for real, for real. I think the temperature has dropped considerably because I was not uncomfortable like this before. Hey, Deacon, how are you? Welcome to Hello World. We were just talking about why you should not be afraid. Oh. This is the link to the newest inspirational video that I posted today. Hopefully you guys will have a moment to watch and share and let me know what you think. How is your new year going, Deacon, so far? And are you a deacon of a church or something? Great, good. I'm glad. I like to ask people what their names mean, Deacon. So it's not anything against you, just in case. Because I know this is the first time we're meeting each other, and I don't want you to think that I'm like trying to poke fun at you. But I always like to learn things when I don't understand stuff. That's another thing, too, guys. Like, don't be afraid to become less ignorant. If you don't understand something, ask. Okay, a deacon of a church. Cool. Thank you for joining. Don't be afraid to grow and learn and grow. Like I said, what's the worst that can happen? Oh, I get it. Your ego and pride get a little bruised. Well, you know what? We need to die to our ego and our pride. We do. Hi, Amy. What's going on? How you feeling, Amy? How's that foot doing? I hope you're doing a little bit better. I see your posts sometimes, and I'm just like, man, I want her foot to hurry up and get better so she can get back to dancing. Yes, I still remember. Amy is a friend that I met from Team Build. She was here yesterday while I couldn't respond in the chat because I was en route to the festivities. Yes, much better. Yes. Nice. Okay, so she's going to go live at 9 p.m., guys. So if you don't know Amy, if you have not seen her, please go to her channel. She does makeup tutorials and then she does makeup looks and such. And then she has an interesting chat as well. So consider turning her red bell gray if you have not done so already. And feel free to watch some of her videos. So, yes, Amy is a cool woman and I enjoy watching her chat from time to time. Finally walking like, okay, that's all right. It's baby steps that got us to where we are, correct? Baby steps is where we ended up walking in our straightness, right? With our straight legs and all that stuff. Baby steps always lead us to better and bigger things. Aw, shucks. Hey, ooh, how are you? Welcome to Hello World. Thank you for joining us. There's Amy's channel. Adam just put it in the chat, so feel free to click on that. But Amy, we're talking about not being afraid, right? How many times have we built this big wall of fear when there was nothing to be afraid of? Why do I want to know where the origin of that came from? Where we decided somewhere down the line we were taught or learned that it's okay to fear things and be afraid and miss so many opportunities because we're afraid to attempt to live outside of that fear. Shame on all of us. And I still have fears too, guys. But I'm every time, every time a fear almost cripples me, I start thinking of my t-shirt, honesty equals freedom, Joy. You can't be promoting honesty equals freedom if you cannot be honestly free. I want to be more free each and every day. So that will require me to sometimes be uncomfortable. I don't mind being uncomfortable, right? Because uncomfortable ends up leading to my comfort. And whatever my comfort will be is going to make me be the best version of myself. And if I am not being the best version of myself, I am holding myself back from a life that would be worth living and a life that would be more glorious if I would only attempt to be honest so I can be free. That's just simple for me. Janine is still here. Though honesty has not always benefited me, but I have my honor at least. And that's all you get to live and leave with is the honor. That's the legacy that we get to leave. And yes, I agree with you. Sometimes it's uncomfortable, but who is the one that's uncomfortable? The person that can't handle your honesty? The person that may not be ready to receive honest, maybe criticism, honest words, honest, loving words? So kudos to you for still understanding that it's led you to be honorable for your own self. Because at the end of the day, if we can't be honest with ourselves first, how in the world are we going to be honest with other people? Hey, Kingdom Boy. I'm sorry that that happened, Kingdom Boy. It does in the long run, Amy. If you look at every bit of drama this year in YouTube, every single one can be traced down to someone compromising their integrity. Oh, Janine, girl, come on down. I was gonna quit all my bad habits for the new year, but then I remembered that nobody likes a quitter. You are too funny, Adam. You absolutely can overcome anything, Adam. I believe you. I believe in you. And I actually look up to you too. I'm sorry, Kingdom Boy. I hope you feel better. How was the ball drop? I know you said you went out there yesterday. Janine, you just spoke the word. I wish I was on StreamYard so I can highlight it. But that's the truth. We all get hate, Kingdom Boy. I've been dealing with this since kindergarten. Oh. And like we can translate that hate into steps, to building steps. And then sometimes we can allow that hate to fuel us so that we can be the better version of ourselves by handling it in a non-threatening way, or using that as motivation to continue to excel higher and stronger and faster and whatever it is that they think they're going to hate us in, or that hate us to the point where we stop doing that thing that we've been doing that was working so well for us. But because they can't handle our truths and can't handle our successes, they want us to fail. Bunk that. Don't fail on the account of someone else's behavior. Hey, Ricardo, Ricardo, what's going on? It's good to see you. That's right. Higher, stronger, faster. Don't be afraid. At the end of the day, don't be afraid. Rejection, rejection doesn't always have to be rejection. It's the way you respond to what it is. Just because we don't get the response that we want doesn't mean that it was a rejection. It could have been a protection from something that would have been worse off for you. And what we receive it as rejection at the time. But when you look at it and review it in your mind, after time passes, you'll see how it was beneficial that that thing happened, not in the way that you wish it could have happened. Wow, so we have so many ways that we can look at not getting our way, protecting sometimes, or warning sometimes, or just building your confidence up, or maybe of not allowing too much time to go by before we step out on our own faith. Right? We should be doing things a little faster sometimes. Sometimes we should do things a little faster. We let too much time go. Like we have all the time in the world. We do not have all the time in the world. Most of us have up to 85 years. 85 years is not a long time. 85 years is not a long time. So, what are we going to do between time? Utilize it properly. Don't be afraid of rejection. Don't be afraid of not getting the response that you would desire, right? That's part of the ego. Well, I don't appreciate that I didn't get the response that I was looking for. Look at it as, okay, this was not for me at this moment. Maybe it's just for the moment, or maybe it was just not meant for me. We have to try to think things through a little bit more. I've had that feeling. I want to know how I came up with this name. Well, how did you come up with that name, Flash Boy? I'm going to shower. Thank you. Hey, treasure hustlers. What's going on, ladies? How are you? Welcome back to Hello World. Good to see you. I don't wear pants, Flash Boy. Don't be afraid. Imagine all of us who were so afraid to go live at one time, including myself. I used to be afraid because I was afraid that, you know, I was afraid that I would not be received well because of my own insecurities. Bunk that. I'm still here. 301 episodes in. And that only represents 301 days of me purposely not turning on my television. And of course, there are a few extra days in there, but remember, I didn't have 1,000 subscribers always. So I couldn't go live from places that didn't have Wi-Fi or I didn't have a computer with me at the time. I'm a fast runner in school. My friend called me the Flash, and I was laughing. I had lead shoes, and I was watching the movie Flash, and that's dope, Flash boy. I like that. Keep running. You never know how far you'll go with your running. You may end up being in the Olympics if that's so be the desire you have. So I encourage you to keep on keeping on. Keep up, guys. Whatever you've started, keep on doing that thing. Whatever you want to do, expand into that thing. Do not let fear, do not let other people's opinions of how they perceive how they will go through whatever you're asking them opinions about for your life determine how you attempt to do whatever it is in your own life. Remember that a lot of times people respond from their personal experience on what they think will happen. Yeah, we all may look out for each other or feel a certain way, but don't let that determine whether you start or redo something. Go, man, go. If something is a desire in your heart and it keeps on pounding in your heart, it's for you to do. Don't let that flame die out because you will never be as happy as you could have been if you just attempted to do what it was that was burning in your heart. Don't be afraid. Take that leap of faith. At least put your big toe out. Put your big toe out and see what happens. I run every day and I go to the gym and go on track. Good. Forrest Gump was a good movie, Flash Boy. You should check it out. I don't know if you have cable or not, but look it up. It's a great movie. I like Forrest Gump because it's a great movie about how he flowed with life. Forrest flowed with life. And look where it took him. Cross country, to the love of his life, to being in the military, to saving so many lives, to owning his own boat. And then Times Square, New York, opening a restaurant based off of that movie. Was that a true movie or not, guys? I don't remember. Was that true? He's a runner and loves to run. No, I have Netflix. So maybe check it up to see if it's on Netflix. Look at what happens, guys. Use these people as examples. Sometimes it's very true. Oh, thank you, Janine. I appreciate you. That was so thoughtful. I appreciate that. Thank you. Sit and Mo, what's going on? Guys, go check out Sit and Mo as well. If you like to see people eating, and they're a cool couple, man. Like their lives be cool too. I've been in there a few times, but they're really cool, and they talk about not only do they do mukbangs, but they talk about a lot of cool things as well. So check them out. If you haven't already checked them out, feel free to consider turning their red bell gray. And Sit and Mo, as I speak about you, consider doing the same for others in the chat as well. Everybody in this chat thus far, I can say, are pretty amazing people, and they have amazing things and content as well. Cool. Flash Boy. So when you have a moment, go check that movie out. And Janine, what part of the world are you from? Because you just said good morning. And I saw you earlier too. I hope you know I did say hello. Thank you, Sitting Mo. Think about it, guys. The fear that we fear is only fear that we built up and we allow to control our lives. Ego and fear and pride are not our friends. Unless we have a healthy balance of these things, sometimes we obsess over things that become fearful. Just let go and live. We've been taught so many things and we have to reconfigure our train of thought, the way we approach life, the way we approach others. We have to retrain ourselves to do that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But once you get it, that's when living begins. At least these are my opinions. I believe so. It's worked for me thus far. I still have a lot of growing. I still have a lot of things to overcome. But it's okay. At least I can admit that. I'd rather admit it than to hold it back and pretend like I'm somebody that's got it all together all the time. I don't have it all together all the time, but that's cool because I'm human. And I'd rather be human than a robot because robots do not have any control over anything. They are manipulated, they are told what to do, and I am no robot. Neither are you. So stop living robotic lives. You understand what I'm saying? Every New Year's Eve, I look forward to a good show at shows. Oh my goodness! Adam, last night, did they even drop the ball? I saw a little bit of it and it was gone. And yes, last night's display of entertainment on New Year's Eve, oh my goodness. I almost fell asleep and I never fall asleep watching TV. And I ended up going to someone's house where I was watching TV. We were chit chatting along. And I was just like, oh my goodness, I would have preferred to be on YouTube. That's how unstimulating the events were yesterday. And then they had the nerve to put the 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock news on. I was like, I don't want to see this. I did not sign up for this. I mean, oh my goodness, how depressing was that? You're from Los Angeles? That's nice. Oh, they did let the ball drop? Yes, eat, sleep, we all do. Oh, you on YouTube chat. Man, that was probably a better thing to do than to be there. But the company I was with was amazing. But it was just like, oh my goodness. Can midnight come already, please? At least let me see the ball drop and put some music. Oh, the entertainment was dry. I was like, they needed to have like Usher or somebody that was popping. And then the people that were like entertainers, they were singing ballads. Who sings ballads at a party? Oh my goodness. Maybe that's what they showed on TV. But the people that were actually live in whatever location the ball was dropping, they probably had a real party. But I was just like, oh my goodness. It was painful to watch. I'm not going to lie. It was very painful. I'm not afraid to say that. But for real, guys, for real. If you want to be honest, start being honest with yourself first. And once you get a hang of being honest with yourself first, then practice it with others. Then practice it with things that you want to attempt to do. Then practice it with how you handle situations that are not maybe the result that you wish could have happened. Start thinking twice about things before reacting. That was one thing we talked about yesterday. Let's learn how to pause a little longer, respond a little slower, think a little more, tread a little lighter. A neat couple that makes content about creating video content. They were live for 4 hours. Oh, okay. They're from Oregon. Nice. Heck, these kids can't party anymore. You're going to have a group of poppers come in and out, ruining everyone's good time. What do you mean, Janine? Cool. We are in Orange County. I'm not going to be afraid, guys. There's some things that I have to tie up, some loose ends I need to tie up. I keep saying that because there's more loose ends that keep coming up. Because when you grow, then you'll see there's more things that you need to improve. And I don't mind because the minute that I don't need to improve anything is the minute I think God, my creator, or whoever you believe in, is going to be like, okay, Joy, you're good. Time to move on. And I'm like, I'm not ready to move on from here. I like this, sir. I need a portable heater. I'm doing the bondage wrap. No, it's just because the temperature dropped outside. Well, it seems like any time someone tries to do something remotely fun, some fool gets on the internet manufacturing some outed stuff that doesn't even matter. Outrage. Oh, what happened, Janine? Girl, you got to tell me I'm missing out. Anytime someone tries to do something remotely fun. What, Janine? I missed that part. Girl, what? I missed out. You gonna have to tell me what that means. I'm here for it. Flash, you need to just follow whatever your heart is telling you to do. Like the good parts of your heart that's telling you what to do. Because we're told in our minds, we have good things and then we have bad things that go through our minds all the time. But hopefully we try, hopefully we attempt to do the good things in our minds more than anything. We fall short. We all fall short. And I think, I understand that. I fall short. Well, while I wish I didn't, but it's okay. I just want to fall short less. But I'm waiting for what Janine was gonna say. Mhm. Yeah, Flash Boy, I need to go back to the gym too. Today would have been a perfect day to go to the gym, but I just didn't. We got a local charity tried to do a really cool idea for Halloween fundraiser, a costume party. The rule you had to come as someone famous and dead. Oh, and they messed that up. I'm sorry, Janine. Sometimes people do things just to get attention. And once you don't show them attention, then they stop doing whatever they were doing. Like, for example, I'm going to say this one last thing and then I'm going to round it up. There was a time, it was one day, I don't remember, maybe it was because of the topic name that I had, but I had like maybe two trolls in the chat, what you guys like to call trolls, who I don't know, whatever. But they were saying some things and I was like, oh, I started pointing out to them that, you know what, guess what, guys? I appreciate you being here because one, you're helping me to get monetized faster. And two, whether you gave me a thumbs up or thumbs down, you just told YouTube to let more people know about my channel. So stay as long as you want. Janine, don't you know they got mad and left? I was like, come on, just because I pointed out the fact that you were doing some tomfoolery and was trying to disrupt something that really was probably part of your benefit? Girl, all I say is that sometimes when you make the obvious to people that think is not obvious and show them the stupidity in their ways, sometimes they stop and they leave. And I was so mad that they left because they were giving me a good 5, 10, 15 minutes. So, guys, if you go live and you do get trolls in there, welcome them gladly and remind them how much time they're giving you to let YouTube know, hey, boost up their analytics, or hey, put more monetization on them, and they will leave. And if they decide to stay and they continue to be disruptive, that's what you have your moderators for. And then your moderators can put them on timeout. And that gives them 300 more seconds of time in your chat because you know they're going to stay. So think of it that way. I was just being honest. And then they left. I don't think I've had a troll since then. Maybe yesterday I did, but they left quickly. And even sometimes if people are in here who are pretending to be things or people that they're not, you're still giving me time. And whether they realize it or not, people can see through all of this smoke and mirrors. So, like, the only person that you're making a fool is yourself. So, Janine, I apologize that those people messed up that cool charity thing. And I hope that you guys will continue to try to do another charitable event. And maybe it will be better. And maybe those same people will come with a different heart and mindset. Time does change things sometimes. Time does change people's ways and their attitudes. Let's just hope at least. Anyway, I'm on Hello World every single night between 7 and 9. We talk about everything and anything. Tonight, we talked about don't be afraid. I hope that we all become less fearful of life and take the chance and the leap of faith to do what it is that may be on our hearts or do what it is that makes us uncomfortable for the moment and do what it is to let our egos die and our prides die a little bit more each and every day. Long story short, don't let fear cripple you from being the purpose and living and being the person or living the purpose that you are meant to be and live. You are beautiful. You are amazing. There is no mistake about you. Everything that you attempt to do can be beautiful and amazing. If you don't like the way the outcome came out, then do it differently the next time. Your soul is amazing. Your life is necessary for someone else. Your life is necessary for you. Your life is necessary for your family, your spouse, your kids, other people that you may meet one time. Choose to be the difference every day. As much as you can, as much as you can control, try your best to be the best version of yourself. Sometimes we are out of control. That's all right. Don't allow being out of control to keep you away from being and gaining back the control that you used to have. We all fall short. It's part of human nature. What also is part of human nature is to take responsibility for our actions and take responsibility for being the better version of ourselves and showing our world how beautiful it is, no matter how nasty outside circumstances try to tell us things are. If you ever want to get to know anything more about me or anything that I do, check the links down below. Oh, I forgot. I wanted to show you guys this. I just created this with the help from my friend Stacy. What do you guys think? You know how I feel about speaking existence and speaking affirmative words to our children? Imagine if your little baby can see this. I will be a leader. And you keep telling them, I will be a leader. You will be a leader. Those books will help you into great leadership positions. You like it? It's on sale at www.bethedifferencellc.com. The website's down below. You know I have to plug it in once in a while. I don't know. Maybe I'll start doing giveaways once a month. I don't know. I'll have to ponder that in my heart. It all depends on how sales go. But I thank you guys for giving me a little bit of your time each and every day. I hope you really do consider being a difference, how important it is to be the difference. I hope you consider that idea. I hope you start walking into that notion. I hope you start walking into your confidence. I hope you start walking into your purpose each and every day more and more. Sorry, I got to chill. Get to know each other, love each other more, continue to be the difference each and every day, guys. So until we meet again each day, well, until we meet again, my name is Joy from Be the Difference, signing out on another episode of Hello World.